Welcome back. You've just completed the concept generation part of the design process, and now we're on to the concept selection part. So we've kind of just completed looking at this imagine phase and generating concepts. Now we want to look at evaluating them and selecting them. And we may go back and forth between these two steps many, many times until we get a solution that we're happy with. So how do we pick which concept we want? There's different methods of doing this, right? But we want to be able to pick one that your team can choose that is the best concept, given that the ideas are still abstract. How do we do that, right? I mean, we could just vote on it, I suppose, right? Um, but by doing that, your team might make a decision so everyone embraces that concept. But how do you do that if someone just says, I want this concept, right? And if someone says that, then maybe someone else says, no, that's not the one I want. But maybe they go along with it just because someone's really pushing it. So we want to kind of come up with some way and methodology of selecting concept that everyone can get the buy-in on it, right? And how can we look at attributes of a concept that may have very weak parts to it, but maybe other parts that are strong, and maybe use certain desirable attributes of that. So really, how can we use a decision-making process and make it so it's also documented? A lot of times in ISO 2000, 2001, and the FDA needs to have your design process documented. So they want to know how you actually came up with the selection of the concept that you did, right? And getting everyone's buy-in. So really what we want to do is kind of develop the best concept. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to look at a two-step approach. And the first approach that we're going to look at after concept generation is concept screening. So this little diagram shows that these little yellow dots are different ideas, and we've generated a lot of different ideas. This is this red portion. Now we're going to use a method called concept screening to narrow those down to a fewer numbers. And we use concept screening because it's a quick, easy method of reducing a lot of concepts. I'm just showing 8 here, but you could have 100 concepts or whatever. And it's a quick, easy way of doing this. And what we do is on the top, you'll see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 8. Those are the different concepts, right? And you may want to put the name of your concept in. And then on the left side, we have all the different types of criteria. So here we're looking at some toy. It has some entertainment value. It has some quality. There's cost, ergonomics. All that is in there. And we put in zeros, pluses, and minuses. Pluses means that it's a really good, this one's good on this entertainment value. It's a good quality type thing. It's kind of 0 on the ergonomics, meaning neutral. So pluses are really good. Minuses are negative. They're bad, right? So these are all bad on cost. This one's not so bad on cost here. And what we do is we quickly go through each of these concepts by putting zeros, pluses, and minuses in it. And what we do then is then we come up with, we add up all of the pluses in that column. So here you'll see we have 1, here we have 2, 2, here's one that has 3. And then we add up all of the sames, which are zeros. And then last, we add up all the minuses. So we have 1 minus, 1 minus, 1, 1. There's no minuses here, 1, 1. And then we take the net. And the net is the number of pluses. And then we subtract the number of minuses. So 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. Where's that one over here? 3 minus 0 is 3. And then we rank them. So you see we have 1. This is the highest one that we got. 2 is over here. We have a bunch of 3s, and here are 4s. Right? And we may decide which ones to continue developing on. So we may continue to develop, of course, on the number 1, maybe the 2, and maybe a couple of these 3s, or maybe we combine some of the features from, concept 2 and 3 and create a new concept. And that's what will give this growing number here. Maybe we created a few more after we screened them down fewer. We created a few more from it. All right. So here again are the concepts, all the different concepts. Kind of review this real quickly. Here are all of the evaluation criteria. Then we have our ratings, plus, minus, and zeros. We sum up all of our ratings. We get our net total of pluses minus our minuses, subtracting our minuses. And then we rank each of them. Okay. And then we determine which ones should be continued or not.